Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at the National Hurricane Center just after 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday with the latest on Hurricane Erin this morning. The storm right now centered about 365 miles south-southeast of Cape Hatteras now has turned northward and moving northward at 13 miles per hour. Data from the Hurricane Hunter shows that Erin has begun to re-strengthen a little bit this morning. Maximum sustained winds up to about 110 miles per hour. The central pressure down to 941 millibars. So as expected, Erin has regained a little bit of its intensity here this morning, but the main story is still the size of the storm. And you can see that despite the fact that the core of Erin is going to pass well offshore of the North Carolina coast as it turns northeastward and then east-northeastward as you go from Wednesday into Thursday. If you look at the forecast size of the tropical storm force winds that currently extend out over 265 miles from the center, that wind field is going to continue to grow, bringing tropical storm conditions, dangerous wave conditions to the North Carolina Outer Banks, and that big risk of rip currents along the entire East Coast. You can see everywhere here in red from South Florida all the way up through southern New England at a high risk of rip currents, moderate risk up into northern New England. So please, it's not going to be safe to get out into the ocean along much of the United States East Coast today and through much of the rest of this week. In particular, we're very concerned about the potential for life-threatening inundation from storm surge along the North Carolina Outer Banks from Cape Lookout up to Duck, including places like Ocracoke Island, Hatteras Island, Kitty Hawk, all the way up through Dare County, with the potential for 2 to 4 feet of inundation above ground level here in this area along the ocean side. And looking at the wording from our partners at the National Weather Service office in Morehead City, the highest water is expected to be in the ocean side area of the Outer Banks from late today through Thursday and into Friday. And there's going to be large waves expected to cause significant severe beach and coastal damage. Potential for roads on the Outer Banks, especially North Carolina Highway 12, to be washed out and possibly impassable at high tide. And the sound side areas along the Outer Banks are going to experience some highest water tonight into Thursday as the winds turn northerly as Erin passes to the east of those areas. If we zoom out a little bit, we can see that there is the potential for some coastal inundation all the way up through the mid-Atlantic states, the lower Chesapeake Bay, up along the New Jersey shore, 1 to 3 feet above ground level in some of those areas as well, with the potential for large breaking waves in addition to that. And the wind threat, we have a tropical storm warning now for the Outer Banks of North Carolina from Beaufort Inlet all the way up to the North Carolina-Virginia border. And those warnings have now been extended northward up to the Virginia coastline, including Virginia Beach and the Virginia portion of the eastern shore. And even as we zoom out even farther, along portions of the mid-Atlantic coast, there is going to be the potential for tropical storm force wind gusts along the immediate coastline, but most concerned about the potential for those sustained tropical storm force winds along the North Carolina Outer Banks. So please stay safe as we go through the day today, tonight, Thursday into Friday along much of the U.S. East Coast. Again, try to stay out of those beach waters and pay attention to any warning flags that are flying there. You can always come back here to the National Hurricane Center for the latest on Erin at Hurricanes.gov and find the latest from your local National Weather Service office at weather.gov. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Brennan.